And welcome to another episode of Motors for the Masses. And today we are not working on the NTV. We were going to do a carb rebuild, but unfortunately, not everything arrived. We had the carb rebuild kits, but not the jets. So that is going to have to be shelved for a week. And we are going to be bringing you something small and not so small, but lots of fun. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. Now, when one of these things arrives, what you usually get is a box. And inside that box is a crate. And inside that crate is a bike. And if we move that way a little bit, you can see it. And here it is. This one happens to have a 160 engine. That's lots of fun. You get 140, 120, 110, 90, 65. And today we're going to be showing you a range. Not all of them, because otherwise we'd have about 40 bikes here, but the range of what you can get from the small to the big. So let's get cracking with this one, shall we?
Why do I make things complicated? Why do I lose all my control? I keep on letting my bad habits make us both come crashing to the floor. Something to save us, close but we're strangers. Feel like we're far apart. Stripping down middle. Stripping down middle. Stripping down middle. This is not what we should be. Start to get the best of me. Inside myself, I swear to never talk about it until I start to yell. Something to save us, close but we're strangers. Feel like we're far apart. Strip it down, middle. Strip it down. Falling through the air. No one let myself to hold my hand. Standing in the shadows of what we have been. Sleeping with your back facing me. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer.
So for these, part of the putting together process is a valve clearance check. So we're going to get in here, check the valve clearances, make sure they are all A-OK, and then we will get the next one in put it together, next one in, put it together, and then at the end, you're not going to see all that because you've seen one put together. We shall test out the 65 and the 160. That could be fun. So what you see behind me is a few of the bikes in the range, and I'll talk a little bit more about the power they've got and possibly some speed that they have and some other details. So let's move in for a closer look. So first of all, let's have a look at this, the Stomp Mini Pit 65. Now this is a 1.5 brake horsepower engine, a seat height of 56 centimeters, and it weighs in at just 42 kilograms. Great little bike. It is limited to 20 miles an hour, but if you're small enough to get on this, 20 miles an hour is plenty. Price is £700. Now you may look at that and go, but it's small. Yes, well that's because they are extremely sought after and now very expensive to buy in. So the price is 700 quid, and we make nothing on them. Usually it's an extra £50 to prep the bike, or you can have it in the crate like you saw out there, but then you've got to prep it yourself. And that can involve valve clearances, it can involve putting all the bits on in the right place, checking the brakes working okay, making sure that the piston is pushed back, usual things like that. For 50 quid it's worth getting the garage or professional to prep it for you, especially if your little one's on it. So next we move on to the Juicebox 90. Now like the Mini Pit 65, it's semi-automatic, meaning there's no gears, it's just twist and go. You've got your front brake up here and you've got your rear brake down here. This is an ideal bike for those that maybe haven't had a bike before, and they're around 6, 7, 8 years old, want to get started. They've got enough to worry about not crashing and twisting and going without having to worry about the gears. So it's a perfect starter bike for that sort of age. Again, it is limited to 20 miles an hour, just like the Mini Pit 65, but it is taller with a seat height of 64 centimeters and weighing in around 50-52 kilos. The 110, which is the red and white one you saw in the crate out there, is exactly the same bike by about that much, but it's got gears. So again, maybe you've had the Mini Pit 65 and you want to move on, you're 6, 7, 8 years old maybe, and you're used to gears, or you like the idea of trying gears, so maybe the 110 is a good way to go for you. However, the one that's out there, that actual bike is the FXJ 110, which is slightly bigger. It has a 73 centimeter seat height and weighs in at 64 kilos. Again, they are not very forthcoming with the figures, so brake horsepower isn't going to be massive, but you're still looking at around sort of 4 or 5 horsepower, enough to do 30 miles an hour. The price for this one is the same as the Mini Pit, about 700 quid. That's not bad, is it? However, the FXJ is a little bit cheaper. Work that out, because I can't. Now, just before we move on to this one behind me, I'm going to talk to you first about the 120 and the 140. Now, the 120 has 8.5 horsepower and a seat height of around 75-76 centimetres and weighs in at around 66, I think, kilos, something like that. The 140, which is the yellow and black one you saw in the crate outside, Now that one is a nice new neon colour, and that comes in with a 14 brake horsepower engine, an 82 centimetre seat height, and weighs in at 71 kilos. Now the 120 is around 949 pounds, I believe, with again the preparation on top, and the 140 is 1,050 pounds plus the preparation costs. So let's move on to this one. Now this is the 160, and this has 17 brake horsepower. It weighs in at just 71 kilos and has an 85 centimetre seat height, and that comes in at a price at 1,150 pounds. And that, I believe, is an absolute bargain. And as you saw, it's just amazing. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll be back next time with the MTV, and we're back on Bob very soon. I do apologise that I've been a bit lax on Bob, but it's just been so busy, and with the lockdown and everything else, it's just been a bit manic. I do apologise, but I'm trying my hardest to bring out videos every week with a bit of variety. So I do apologise for that. However, I do have a surprise video coming up because I've got a new bike. It's not new, it's actually old. And it might not be a bike that you think that I would own. But I have, I bought it, it's coming on Wednesday, and I'm very excited to show you. So please watch out for that video coming on Wednesday evening, possibly Thursday, depending on what time it arrives. If you are interested in one of these, they are very, very limited at the moment. Now, Stomp themselves usually have 1,200 bikes in their warehouse at any one time. But since this lockdown thing, they have sold out of everything. And all these have only just come back in. And they're in very, very limited supply. So if you want one, get in quick. If you do want one, check out the link below to Lightning Storm Motorcycles and grab one quick before they go. They're so much fun. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye.